Like you, this is going to be short and sweet. I love you with all my heart and soul and promise to be with you forever.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Howard and Bernadette moments on The Big Bang Theory.
If this relationship is over, let her know that she made me a better man, and tell her thank you.
For this list, we'll be looking at the times the Rostenkowski-Wolowitzes were the funniest, cutest, and most relatable Big Bang Theory couple. Do you think Howard and Bernadette are the dot to each other's com? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Getting competitive. After Raj and Anu cancel their wedding, the guys decide to repackage their bachelor party plans into a guys' weekend.
Well, I used my NASA connections to get us 4 seats on that plane that lets you experience weightlessness.
The vomit comet, that is so cool.
But when Leonard and Sheldon pull out, Raj asks Anu, leading Bernadette to demand an invitation too. Howard knows that flying around in zero gravity isn't exactly Bernie's spinning cup of tea.
What are you talking about? I love doing crazy stuff like that.
Bernie, you got sick from the teacup ride at Disneyland.
Lots of people do.
We were still in line.
However, he also knows just how stubborn she is and how far she'll go to be right. This turns into a hysterical argument where Howard tries to goad her into admitting how well he knows her.
Unless you don't want to, because I was right and I do know you.
Well, if you really know me, then you know how far I go to prove a point.
Apparently 34,000 feet that way, then straight back down, up and down, over and over again until you throw up food you didn't even eat.
But she's so adamant about proving him wrong, she goes through with it anyway. At least it was worth it?
I hate this so much! Why am I doing this? To prove a stupid point to your husband! All right, worth it.
Number 9. Howard sings for forgiveness. As you probably recall, Howard and Bernadette got engaged in season 4.
Yes, I will marry you.
You will? You will?
I will.
Oh, I love you so much.
I love you too.
But did you remember that it wasn't the first time Howard got down on one knee? A season earlier, he freaks out when Bernadette asks where the relationship is going and basically ghosts her. Understandably, she's upset. So what's the obvious solution?
I'm never gonna find another girl like you who likes me and is, real.
So this isn't a joke?
No.
Then you're insane.
Yeah, not that. If anything, he just makes matters worse. However, later on, he makes a comeback with a personalized rewrite of the Four Tops' Bernadette.
It's too soon to talk of love. It was just a crazy idea that came to me in my tub. But Bernadette, give me one more chance, sweet Bernadette.
And if there's one thing we know about Howard Wolowitz, is that he's a skilled serenader. Still, if Bernie found that romantic, it really must have been love.
That's the most romantic thing anyone's ever done for me.
Bernadette, thank you, Cheesecake Factory.
Number 8. Their first date. To say that it was love at first sight would be, well, it would be an outright lie. Leonard asks Penny to find Howard a date after he invokes an old pact. However, as soon as they meet, it's clear they have very little in common and next to no chemistry.
Do you like science fiction?
No.
Role-playing games?
Like in the bedroom or like Dungeons and Dragons?
Either.
No.
Yet, Howard persists, and the results are as funny as they are painful.
Okay, puppies. Where do you stand on puppies?
Puppy once bit my face.
Of course it did.
Howard's mom inadvertently ends up playing Cupid for the couple. After she calls, the pair compares their overbearing mothers, and suddenly, the sparks start flying.
My mother made me wear rubber gloves to kindergarten so I wouldn't pick up a disease from the other children.
That's nothing. I couldn't ride a bicycle because my mother was afraid I'd hit a bump and lose my virginity.
Did we think they were endgame? Probably not yet, but there was clearly something special between them. Number 7. Moving in together, finally. Speaking of Howard's mother, she was very much the third wheel in the relationship.
Okay, I see what you're getting at. How about this weekend, I'll box up all my things and move them to our place.
Thank you.
In fact, Howard often found himself torn between his loyalties to her and to Bernadette. He couldn't even escape when he was hundreds of miles away at the space station.
What's this mission she gossip about you moving out to go live with the little Polish girl.
How about calling her my wife?
Wives don't take boys from their mothers.
They do. That's why we marry them.
We have to commend Bernie on her patience, but eventually, she's had enough, and we totally get it. In this episode, she insists that Howard grows up and moves out of his childhood bedroom.
Oh, you promised you'd move.
And I will.
Yeah, right.
I will. I'm obviously not going to live in my mother's house for the rest of my life. I'm not a child.
After a lot of persuading, pleading, and some input from Penny, he agrees. And just as we think they've entered a new relationship phase, he guilts Bernie into a change of heart.
But I want to live here.
Well, you should have thought of that before you told me the stupid magic trick story.
Can't we talk about this?
No husband of mine is gonna break his mother's heart!
Number 6. Bernadette supports Howard during space training. Despite her initial reservations, Bernadette was wholeheartedly behind Howard as he embarked on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Primal part of the human spirit that just wants to keep on living, no matter what the cost.
You're so brave. I'm proud of you.
She comforts him during the lowest moments of his astronaut training and encourages him with her love and pride. However, she set the relationship bar high when she dropped everything and flew to Texas to be with him, even if she wasn't the only one.
Howard, your bath is getting cold!
Don't worry, once she falls asleep, I'll spoon you like an armadillo.
She also stood by him when he went stir-crazy, and she's the one who brings him down to earth when his head gets too big for his space helmet.
Plain old Howard Wolowitz is the best guy I know.
You're just saying that.
No, I'm not. I married him. On purpose.
Let's not forget how she looks out for his well-being when Howard debates his return trip invitation.
I hated that entire experience. Does it make me an awful wife if I don't think he should do it again?
Not at all. He's forgotten how miserable he was the entire time he was up there.
Her devotion is out of this world. Number 5, their wedding. Something about the idea of being launched hundreds of miles upward into the stratosphere seemingly unlocks Howard's romantic side, and his gift to Bernadette is surprisingly thoughtful.
But I'm gonna have to get it back from you so I can take it to the International Space Station. That way, when I come home, you will have a star that was actually in space.
It also gets her thinking that they should move up their wedding. They go down to City Hall, but they're too late. Luckily, it's Raj's knack for party planning to the rescue. Their rooftop wedding is perfect, and the vows they share are so adorable we can't help but shed a few tears.
Until I met you, I couldn't imagine spending my life with just one person. And now I can't imagine spending one day of it without you.
Having their friends marry them is a nice touch.
We now pronounce you husband and wife.
And getting their big day immortalized on Google Maps is just the icing on the wedding cake. Number 4, becoming parents. Howard and Bernadette's road to parenthood was certainly a rocky one. In season 5, Bernadette makes it very clear that kids aren't part of her plan.
Right. When it's our kid that's ruined my body and kept me up all night and I've got no career and no future and nothing to be happy about for the next 20 years, sure, that'll be completely different.
However, in season 9, she becomes pregnant. Watching Howard spiral from elation to panic is equally hilarious and relatable.
How's it gonna be okay? Look at me. I'm a mess. That means this baby's gonna be half a mess. And that's even before we screw it up with our cut-rate, moderately attractive nanny.
And soon enough, they're both freaking out. But Howard and Bernadette share a strong and loving relationship that had already endured its fair share of road bumps. So we were positive they would make great parents.
You might not have to wait 9 months to see someone soil their pants.
But I'm also really excited. I mean it.
Me too.
Still, after Hallie's born, they learn that parenthood is no picnic. So when Howard tells Bernie just how proud of her he is, our hearts are ready to burst.
Good job, Mommy. I'm proud of you.
Don't make me cry either.
Good night.
Number 3, Howard gives Bernadette a break. Yes, Howard and Bernadette make a great team, but thanks to Howard's upbringing and overdoting mother, Bernie often feels like she has an extra child in the house. And you can imagine spending all day in a demanding job and coming home to a needy husband and 2 small kids is not the one.
I'm gonna be stuck at work for a while. Oh, that's terrible. Hang in there. I'll be home as soon as I can.
So, she finds a secret spot to get some alone time. Howard reveals to Raj that he knows about her hideout, but appreciates that she needs some time to herself, so he doesn't say anything.
She's been a little overwhelmed at work, and frankly, me and the kids are a lot.
Okay, so he's also hoping to use it against her one day, but the first part is pretty cute.
I told her I got life insurance, and I totally didn't. Someday she's gonna find out. I'm gonna say, ha, I know you've been hiding in the playhouse.
Number 2, Bernadette made Howard a better man. Howard made some pretty creepy and sleazy choices before Bernadette entered his life. Much of his sordid past is rehashed during Raj's drunken best man speech at his bachelor party.
Leonard and I took Howard to Las Vegas and paid a hooker to pretend she was Jewish and that she wanted his little kosher pickle.
Will Wheaton films it and puts it online. And guess who sees it? Bernadette's horrified to uncover this side of Howard and considers calling off the wedding.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm supposed to marry Howard in a couple weeks, and I'm not sure I even know who the man is anymore.
She won't even talk to him when he tries to apologize, so he asks Penny to pass the message along. His apology shows real personal growth and demonstrates how much of a positive influence Bernadette has had on his life.
The guy that she's disgusted by is the guy that I'm disgusted by too, but that guy doesn't exist anymore. He's gone. And the reason is because of her.
Like Penny, we found his speech both unexpected and incredibly touching. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Bernadette becomes Howard's pageant wife. We have to admit, Howard's performance is pretty magical. Credit to Bernadette.
I've got miracle plays to play. I've got parts to perform, hearts to warm, kings and things.
Handling lost luggage. We don't condone her methods, but that's some strong wifely dedication right there.
Excuse me.
Yes.
You better find my husband's mother, because one way or another, we're walking out of this airport with a dead woman.
When Howard met Bernadette, we'll have what she's having. Bernadette stands by her man. No matter how ridiculous the fight is, who wouldn't want Bernie in their corner?
God, was it me being Howard's spy?
Don't play dumb with me, sister. You tell your husband he owes me $200.
Well, that doesn't make sense either.
Why not?
Because I'm the one who had it towed.
Buying Howard a Rolex. She just wants her baby to have nice stuff.
How much did this cost?
Oh, you let me worry about the money. I just want my baby to have pretty things.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You'll have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. If I Didn't Have You. Howard has big plans for his anniversary of his first date with Bernadette, and even a raccoon virus accident that leaves her in quarantine won't stop him from following through.
What's all this?
Well, tonight is the anniversary of our first date, and I wanted to celebrate it by writing a song for you.
So he brings his keyboard and friends to the hospital and performs an incredibly catchy, adorably hilarious, and oh-so-romantic song.
A candle without a wick, a Watson without a crick, I'd be one of my outfits without a dickie.
It makes Bernadette well up, and we're not ashamed to admit that it left us all choked up too. She's the TARDIS to his doctor, the dickie to one of his outfits, and the string to his string theory.
Couldn't have imagined how good my life would get from the moment that I met you, Bernadette.
And we think we can all agree, if he didn't have Bernadette, he'd definitely still be living at home with his mom.
I'd speak a lot more Klingon, Kaloknek Cockjudge Von.
And he'd definitely still live with his mom.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.